Welcome back to this Jaka Bial special. Craig, how are we doing, mate?
Doing good. Thank you very much.
Good. As we spoke about in the last episode, obviously we linked with him and we are joined by Nick, who is a Slovenian fan here, knows bits and pieces. We're going to get a bit more insight on Jaka Bial. Nick, how are we doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
Good to have you on here. So, can you tell us a bit more about Jaka Bial in terms of his age and his position that he plays in or has played in the past?
Yeah, I mean, he's still like a good age. Like, I think he's 26, so that's perfect for a player. Like, he's just entering his prime, I guess, especially for a defender. Before he played at CSK Moscow and Hanover. There he started as a center defensive mid. So only in his later days at CSK, that's when he kind of moved back into the defense. And then that's when he was also bought by Udinese. So that was kind of like the main thing that helps his career, I think, as well, because it showed that he was better suited as a center back than he was in midfield. But the midfield experience also helped him a lot with being good on the ball, which is, especially these days, are very important for a defender.
Yeah, so obviously you said about he's playing in mid. What's he like in terms of if he's pressed on the ball? Because especially in the Prem, there's a lot of high press in there. What is he good under pressure or not? Like, how does he like to play out from the back in that sense?
Yeah, I mean, here especially with the national team, he's never really had any problems with that, And there was also, of course, quite a lot of pressure. Like, the Slovenian team is a defensive team, so there is often pressure on the center backs as well. And yeah, he didn't have many problems, and he also often actually put up like a good long ball as well. Like, I was like, what the hell? Where did that come from? Which like created a very good attack, which was probably one of his like weirder qualities, like that he can put it up and it can create something. So yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those
ball,
clips.
then.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen a few of those long ball clips and they look beautiful, especially that right peg of his. So obviously the Slovenian team then, how many caps has he played, if you know the full amount or a rough guess?
I'm not sure on the exact number, but he's been like the main center back for quite a couple of years now. Like, since the previous generation kind of went out, like before we had like Cesar and stuff like that. Then he like filled those like quite big boots because the previous generation got us to the World Cup and stuff like that. And then we were kind of like thereabouts for a while. And when he kind of like got in the team, we've started doing better as a national team as well. So yeah, lately he's just been like, without him, we're kind of lost in defense. We've got like two other defenders, but it's them two changing, and Biol is just always there. So yeah, he's the main guy every time.
That's good to hear. Obviously, we got Welsh centre back, so we like it when they play for international as well. Craig, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, so I was just going to ask you, so just coming on after that statement that you just said, is he, would you say, like one of the key players in Slovenian national team now then?
Yeah, absolutely. Alongside Šiško and Oblak, like he's probably the next guy, or there's maybe like Erishnik in midfield or some others, but other than that, like he's probably, alongside Oblak and Šiško, the main guy of the national team and the guy that we trust the most.
Right.
Also, when Oblak isn't there, he's the captain of the national team, and even when Oblak is there, like if you're in the stadium, you can hear Biol just yelling at everyone and taking control every time. So yeah, that's how he is on the pitch. Yeah.
That's good to hear that, because it sounds like the type of player that Leeds fans will really get behind. I assume he's an aggressive player, isn't he? Yeah. So that's what we love players like that.
Yeah, I've just looked here. He's had 63 caps, so a lot more than I thought originally anyway. But like you said, he's been playing under the large regime as well. You've touched upon leadership there, that he's been captain for his country. What about for Udinese? Does he ever like stand in as captain there, or what's his role?
I think he's been the captain for like quite a good part, at least of this season. Like he's been the captain of Udinese as well. So at least the last couple of games I've seen, he's been the captain. Like so, yeah, also there in the similar role, like in the national team. Yeah,
That's good to hear, because obviously leadership for me it's always been a bit of a weird point for Leeds, where it's like, well, we'll just have this captaincy or leadership roles. And it's like, for me, Mellier's part of it, and he's not the right choice. Like you said, he's loud on the pitch. Is it the same off the pitch, or if from what you've gathered or know about him?
well, actually, I think it's kind of like the opposite. At least like in the interactions I've seen had, like, or in like stuff in the media, like he's a bit more like chilled outside the pitch, like when he's like with friends or family and stuff like that. Like he's a lot more like of a calm person. Like it's, at least that's how he seems to me. Then he is on the pitch, like he turns into another animal, I think, when he gets on the pitch. Yeah, outside the pitch, he's a bit more like calmer, reserved, I guess. I don't know how it is on training and stuff like that, because that's kind of hard to know. But at least in like public like interactions, he's a lot more calmer and stuff like that.
Yeah, one question, and I was going to save it till last, but I'm dying. I'm itching to ask. I want to know if you could like compare him to a more well-known player that like people will know about, who would you put him on a level?
Who's like a guy that does a lot of like tackling, like he's a strong defender. Like I'm struggling to like get a good comparison. Like I'm not sure. You got me there. Yeah, like I'm thinking of like, I guess maybe I mean, of course there's a certain Virgil van Dijk, but that's kind of too high of a ceiling. Like that's a bit too much to say and to expect from him, you know.
I mean, if he's 75% of that, they say he's happy. It's a good comparison. We've got a defender that was compared to Virgil van Dijk. He was only young, and it was compared to Virgil van Dijk, and he didn't last at Leeds. So I hope he's better than that.
I hope so too.
To be fair, that was going to be one of my next questions as well. Who's he likened to in terms of past or present? But obviously, I guess with footballers, they don't necessarily always shadow in or mold in another person's point of view.
Yeah. I was more looking for like the style of play.
Yeah, and I think
than a direct comparison.
Yeah, and I think like if we do say the Van Dijk comparison, like Van Dijk is known for his like good passing, like long balls as well. He's done quite a few nice ones as well. The heading and the strength in defense, like it's quite similar. I don't know, like Biol isn't the only thing that's probably like not the best with Biol is probably his speed. Like he's not the greatest, and sometimes also his like foul trouble. Like I think he sometimes gets too many yellows and stuff like that. So those are like the things that maybe aren't the best. But yeah, that's again hard to compare it to someone, I guess.
I think that will actually be a hit. Yellow cards, getting stuck in, making yourself known to players. obviously we've had players in the past that will just get reckless red cards and not leave a name for themselves, whereas we've had other players that have done. So that's good to hear. Obviously, you touched on his weakness there with his speed not being too good. What other weaknesses is there about his game that aren't the strongest?
Yeah, I mean, from what like I see from him, like those are like the main ones. Like that he that the speed is probably like the big one, and the reckless tackling sometimes that's sometimes can be a problem, but it's not like a big problem, at least from the games, especially he played in Slovenia. Like we were one of the national teams that conceded the least goals for quite a while now. So yeah, like, and that was his impact mainly. So yeah, I don't know which other like big weakness I would say. Like you said before, like you haven't found any on the site.
Yeah.
So good to hear, though.
I think that it's like that might be due to his, if he's maybe got a reckless tackle in him, it might be due to how quick he is. You know,
Yeah.
And I guess because he's improved over the years, hasn't he? At CSK, obviously, he's moved there. Then he's gone to Germany and he's gone to Italy and progressed each time. So maybe the step up to the Premier League will, and at 26, he's still got time to improve and get better. So, I mean, if we can coach him and improve him even more, I think there's a player.
Yeah, I think so too. Absolutely. Like his career, like has really progressed, especially in the last few years. Like since he moved center back, it was only up. Hanover and CSK at the starting years, like it wasn't, he was the main guy. There was some like positivity and hopes for the future, but it almost like at some point seemed like it wasn't going to happen. Then he moved to center back, and suddenly like now he's going to the Premier League, which is
That's so good to hear. Obviously, you said it goes back to a centre back. Is he only played in a back two, or can he play in a back three? And if it's only back two, is he preferred to be like left or the right centre back?
yeah, it's usually a back two. In Slovenia, I don't remember the last time we played anything other than a 4-4-2 or something like that. So yeah, it's mainly that he plays on the left side. Yeah, that's his main position. Yeah,
That's a good place to be, because that means thinking about our defence is you're gonna have him and Rodon partnering each other, and my God, that means two aggressive centre backs. It's going to be good to watch.
And they can both actually make decent tackles as well without making fouls and aggression, leaving your mark on the game without conceding too much. Obviously, highlights and stuff can be misleading on what we see. Obviously, you know a lot more than what we've done, so that's why we've asked you to give us a bit more insight on him. Is there anything, Craig, that you'd like to ask or add before we leave?
I was just going to say, because one thing that we lacked last season, well, for a few seasons now, is dominance in the air. And I'm hoping if you can tell us, like, is that what Bial's going to bring to us?
Yeah, absolutely. I was like on another podcast as well earlier, and we were actually also talking about his presence in the air. Like he has scored goals before, maybe not that many for the national team, but every year like he gets one or two or stuff like that.
Yeah,
can be from headers. Like he has done it before, and he is a strong player in the air. And if we think about like the last year, especially like at the Euros, he faced Harry Kane. Harry Kane couldn't do much. Same with Ronaldo in 2 games last year. Like those are both strikers that can head the ball very well. And against Biol, they were like none of them scored, and they were kind of like quiet the entire game, which again says a lot about him.
Yeah, if you can keep Ronaldo quiet from heading the ball, then that's a good compliment to have because he jumps higher than everyone else, doesn't he? So if Bial can keep him quiet from winning headers, then yeah, we'll have that.
If he can do against Haaland as well, that'll be even better. Because you know what Haaland's
Yeah, that's
like
going
as
to be a
well.
good matchup, Haaland and Bial.
Yeah, yeah, Haaland's been. I think Haaland's been a bit more of a problem for him, but not in the air. But the Norwegian team has always been a problem for our national team. So it's
Right.
but yeah. Also, Haaland, I don't think he scored a header in the games that he was playing. So that's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Before we do leave, I do have one question. Is there any, apart from Haaland, obviously, is there any like strikers that you're looking forward to seeing Biol against in the Prem next season?
Well, I'm hoping for one guy that I hope that guy actually comes to the Premier League, which is Benjamin Šeško, who's the other like important Slovenian player. So if he comes to the Premier League, he's the guy I'm most looking forward to seeing play against Jaka. So that would be probably the guy that I'm most looking forward. Yeah,
I did think that.
Yeah.
That's who I've said that I think Arsenal should go for, or there are other clubs that are linked with him, but I think he would suit Arsenal. But that was for a different show, which we have done previously. So if you haven't already listened to it, go and listen to it. Yeah, in terms of, obviously you said goal scoring threat. I know defenders' goal scoring records are not really to be looked at, but if he was to score any goals, what kind of number would you look at?
look at like 1 or 2 a season. I wouldn't say many more.
I was thinking 5.
Yeah, I think that's quite a lot. Like if you look at his last few seasons, it's more in the realms of 2 or stuff like that.
No, that's fine. Is there anything you'd like to add then before we do leave this?
Yeah, I think we did quite well. I think we've gone through the most important stuff, I think.
Craig, anything else from you?
No, that's brilliant. Thank you for the insight, Nick. It's very much appreciated.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, Nick. We will leave that there, obviously. Be able to Leeds. Medical is happening soon, so hopefully it does actually happen, and he is a forefront mainstay in our backline next season. Thank you all for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Leeds.